A big welcome to Kris Bright, the Auckland City Youth Team coach. Kris, this is your first season in charge. How's it going so far?
Not bad. It's a good experience. Obviously, being the head coach is a bit different to being the assistant. But we've got a good group of boys. They've been working really hard in pre-season. We started off, the first two games were very good, and the last game was not as positive as the first two. But there's still 6 games to go, so much to improve on.
So you're confident that you guys will bounce back from this?
Yeah, I hope so. I think that was not quite what we've been doing. It was just 90 minutes of the last month where didn't quite go to plan really. So things will remain the same. Hopefully the mentality changes slightly for the next game, but there's a lot of positives to take from the start of the season.
Obviously it is nice getting results in any competition, but for the youth guys, is it also important in developing these players as well as winning?
Yeah, it's actually a lot different this year because about 7 of the boys have been full-time with the first team. So ideally our aim is, when we look back at the season, is yes, were we successful? That is one part of the Auckland City brand, but also is how many boys were in the first team environment and developed and hopefully are playing with these international footballers week in, week out and yeah, getting some game time.
Now, Kris, you've had an illustrious playing career. We don't have all day, but can you sort of give us a bit of an overview of the clubs you've been at and how important you've found, learning at a young age and how good it can be for the future?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to help these boys, because I've played in a lot of different countries, and I think 7, 8 different countries, different leagues, different styles, different cultures. I'm trying to sort of get these boys ready so when they do go into the first team, great. Then when they move on, they're ready for those environments. So I played in the A-League when I was about 18, 19, and then played in Europe and in Asia and in Africa, and until 2 years ago when I came back and played for Auckland City, and then I moved into coaching last year.
Yeah, I was about to ask you how you're finding sitting on the sideline. It must be quite tough.
Yeah, it's actually very frustrating at times, sort of going, well, maybe I could have finished it off, or maybe, but yeah, well, no, it's a bit different. But it's the mental side I find interesting. I find the mental side of the game interesting with these young boys because sometimes they're off, and obviously in a professional environment overseas you can't afford to be off. But it's I'm enjoying giving these boys back sort of the different things that I learned over time.
And can you tell us a bit about the side? We don't know too much about them. Who are sort of the breakout stars that you can see this season?
I think the boys that have been with the first team a lot are they're not so much the breakout boys. I mean, we've had Thomas Drillian, he's been with the youth team for 3 years. Matt Ellis has been again, this is his 3rd year. DeAndre, he's a young lad that was not quite there the last couple of seasons, but has really kicked on with Central this year, and he's doing very well for the youth team. We've got Matthew Hodgson, been at Only Hunger a long time, and he's coming through, and players like Callum. I could go on. There are quite a few good lads up and coming. So hopefully, we've only got 1 or 2 boys that are actually too old for the youth league next year. So it's quite a young team again. And then we've got the 3 boys at the World Cup, the New Zealand 17. So Luca Taylor, Brad Wilson, and Nathan Lobo. So when they come back in, we'll be a lot stronger as well.
Lovely. Well, just before we go, I think I know what your answer is going to be, but the goal for the season is what, taking out the 3-peat?
Yes, that would be nice, and I can see the trophy over there, and it would be nice to keep it. But I genuinely would take a lot of pride and satisfaction if these boys played for the first team at Kiwatea Street and won the O-League and went on to played Champions League and Club World Cup. That's what I would take as a success of the season.
Well, Kris, thank you very much for your time and all the best for the season that's left.
Great, thanks for having me.